Surprise, this is not a contract video where there's been a lot of contract talk. Well, this is kind of contract talk, but potential contract with a free agent. I'll explain that in a little bit, but this could be absolutely massive for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2025. Before I jump into this latest report, 88.8% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed, so please do me a huge favor, subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel if you love the Bengals as much as me and everybody else. We are at 755 subscribers. We are on the road to 1,000 before the end of February, and I know we're going to get it. Thank you guys so much for all the love you've shown this channel, but let's jump right in. Cincinnati's Bengals free agent preview. Should veteran five-time Pro Bowler Brandon Scherff be an option at guard? He is now currently on the Jacksonville Jaguars, but Brandon was drafted back in 2015, number 5 overall 2015. He was the last guard in the last 50 years to be drafted in the top 5. And why this could be so massive for Cincinnati is the fact the odds for the Super Bowl and winning the AFC North have just come out. The Bengals' odds to win the AFC North is 10-1. We are ranked 4th among AFC teams behind the Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, and the Baltimore Ravens, the usual teams. And then Super Bowl odds, we are ranked 7th or 8th to win the Super Bowl with 24-1 odds to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, we are in win now mode. We are in the time where we should win our first Super Bowl ever. And one of the things that is going to affect that in 2025 is improving the offensive line. I've said this multiple times. I think we have the tackles and guard position figured out very well. Orlando Brown Jr., if he comes back in when he comes back in 2025, if he gets over the injuries in 2024 and goes back to how he was in 2023 and before, he's one of the best tackles in the league. Amarius Mims, our first-round pick in 2024, panned out. He's going to be one of the best tackles in the league going forward. Ted Karras, our center, one of the captains, he's a beast. He's always been a beast. He's going to be a beast for quite a few more years. And now we really just need to figure out the offensive guards. We had Cordell Volson and Alex Kappa. Alex Kappa, the overall worst offensive guard in 2024, and Volson, the third to worst offensive guard in 2024. So the offensive guard is a matter of desperate need, and I think Brandon would be a huge upgrade. He is getting older, but I think that would work out perfectly fine for Cincinnati. We got a guy like Cody Ford. We re-signed Cody Ford. He would be a huge backup for depth. Matt Lee would be a huge huge depth player. But going over Brandon, what he is in free agent, he is PFF wise, he is ranked number 7th among all guards. Like I said, number 5 pick overall in 2015. Going to the Washington Redskins back then. He played for them, Washington, 7 seasons. Then the last 3 years, he was playing in Jacksonville, where he started all 51 games he was there in Jacksonville. Throughout his career, he has been selected to the Pro Bowl 5 different times. He is turning 34 in December, so he is getting a little bit older in age. But with the projected contract, I think it would be a perfect fit for Cincinnati. Going off his PFF grades in 2024, 64.7 overall grade, 53rd among all guards. That grade is a little bit above average. Pass blocking, 74.5, 19th among all guards. That's above average, a lot above average actually. And then run block, 57.3, 96th. That's slightly under average. And in 2024, 1,013 snaps. He only had 2 penalties, 0 sacks. That's exactly what Cincinnati's looking for. An offensive guard that does not allow sacks. He might not be the best run blocker, but he's one of the better pass blockers. And that's what exactly Cincinnati needs. And he is just as good as the guys ranked above him, probably for a little bit cheaper. Let me read you this report that they went on to say. Spotracs.com lists Scherff with with a manageable market value and a projected contract of 1 year for $6.7 million. So a lot cheaper than the other guys we have talked about before. His durability and experience should make him an attractive target as a one-year placeholder for whatever guards the Bengals target in the draft, similar to the plan they took in 2024 by signing Trent Brown as a runaway to the Amarius Mims era. Obviously, Trent Brown got hurt, and we got Amarius Mims sooner. I think Trent Brown should come back. Maybe even move Trent Brown to guard. I think that would be a big fit too. Scherff could fall into the ring chasing category as well, which might lead to him signing with a team such as Cincinnati for a little less for a shot to win a title before he retires. So could be the big thing for Cincinnati. Obviously, Cincinnati is a team that should be competing for a Super Bowl every single year, especially with Joe Burrow and how he's playing and how Jamar Chase is playing and how Chase Brown has started to play. Cincinnati should be a team contending for Super Bowl every single season. And if Brandon looks at the Cincinnati Bengals and says, hey, I only got maybe a few years left, 1 or 2 years left in me, I just want to go win a ring and retire. I think Cincinnati could be a perfect fit for him for his last season or last few seasons in the league. Go get a little bit of a paycheck. Go get $7 million to come be the offensive guard for Joe Burrow. And I think that would be one. It would be a huge lift in talent for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think it would be a good thing for Brandon. If he wants to chase that ring, I think Cincinnati is the place to go, especially for offensive guards, because the Cincinnati Bengals are desperate for offensive guards. I think Brandon might have a little bit of leverage here, right? Cincinnati Bengals, he could go in like, I know you guys are trying to win a Super Bowl, right? I know you don't want Joe Burrow to get sacked anymore. I don't let my quarterback get sacked, so raise that to 6.7 to 7.5. And I would be fine with that. I know he's a little bit older, but the other guys ranked above him in the free agency, like Trey Smith, the best number 1 ranked offensive guard free agent, he's probably going to go around like 25 a year. If you can get Brandon for 70 a year for 2 more years, that's completely fine, because then you go draft one of the offensive guards I talked about countless times in videos I've done countless times, like Clay Webb, the guy, or Joshua Gray, the guys that I've looked at the most, or a guy like Tate Ratledge. There's a lot of guys in this draft that you could go draft, right? Then we have Brandon, and then whoever we draft this season, and then go draft another guy next season. And then once Brandon would retire, you would have that next guard already ready. And then Matt Lee, maybe because Ted Karras is the center, move Matt Lee, see if he can play some guard for a little bit. And then you have at least depth, because then you got Orlando Brown Jr. as the left tackle. Then you got, let's say we draft Clay Webb, right, left tackle, or left guard, sorry. Ted Karras, center. Brandon Scherff, right guard. Amarius Mims, right tackle. I think that's a solid offensive line. And then remove that, whoever we draft, interchange them. Tyler Booker, Alabama. Tate Ratledge, Georgia. Clay Webb, Jack State. Joshua Gray, Oregon State. There's a lot of guys you can interchange. But if that's the offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2025, I think, 1, that's a massive upgrade. 2, I think our ranking-wise, we were ranked 21 in offensive line this season. I think that raises us maybe 10 rankings in the offensive line rankings in 2025. And 3rd, I think that means Joe Burrow gets a lot less QB pressures and a lot less sacks, which is the most important thing for Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals going forward, making sure you keep your franchise quarterback basically untouchable. Make sure that no one can get to him in the backfield. Make sure he stays healthy. And the best way to do that is making sure he doesn't have to run for his life in the pocket every single play. And I think Brandon would be a perfect fit in Cincinnati. Let him get his $6 million a year to go for one last hurrah and potentially a Super Bowl ring. And I think those odds going forward in 2025 for the Bengals to win the Super Bowl is going to change drastically when the Cincinnati Bengals go crazy this offseason. If you haven't seen the post that Cincinnati Bengals, just their media team, released, it was a recap of the 2024 and preview of 2025. I don't know if it's the media team just writing the script or they'd have insider information. They said they're going to this offseason is going to be a bang. So I don't know what that means, but hopefully it means we win the Super Bowl in 2025, because I want a ring and a trophy in Cincinnati. But before I go, remember to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. Only 11% of you are subscribed watching this video right now, so please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to like this video, share this video with your Bengals friends, because football and Bengals Nation is better together. Comment down below on what you would think of this signing of Brandon. If there is another guard in the free agency you would like to go after, or a guard in the draft you would like to go after, let me know your offensive line moves for the 2025 season. I'm Carson Lokey for the Bengals Digest channel. I'll see you next time.